last one on the menu is a game that I have absolutely no idea about. Like, I've just seen memes and small videos, but I don't actually know what this game is. So tell me about Tomodachi. Is it Tomodachi
It's
Life? I don't know what
Tomodachi
the
Life.
subtitle
Yeah,
is.
it's so
Okay.
again, this is one of those games where I've not played it as much as I would have liked to, because life has just been busy. So I've put a couple hours into this Switch 2 exclusive. Tamagotchi Life. It's basically I don't know, like maybe the best description is like it's a one of those cozy sandbox life simulator games, kind of like Animal Crossing or the more recent Pokemon Pocopia, with the twist
Okay.
being like, cool, you're building your island, but all your island inhabitants are who you've made. So you can obviously make a whole lot of different characters. You can name them whatever you want, make them look however you want. But where the fun or the funniness comes from is that how these people interact with each other. You can like really customize and personalize them. So, for example, my island, I've made Keeley Island. Okay, this is where my boy Jeff Keeley lives, and he was the first one on the island with his good pal Hideo Kojima.
Of course. Of
Of
course.
course, of course, So it's one of the things where I've put them on the island, and then you kind of want to build up their friendship. You get them to talk to each other, and you get prompts throughout the game of like, cool, what Kojima's like, what should I talk to Jeff about? And I'm like, you should talk to him about Strand type games. And it's like, cool to have this conversation. And it's one of those silly things where the dialogue's obviously structured. It's kind of vague, but it's funny when it's contextualized with whatever the prompt is you've given. So Kojima's like, hey Jeff, have you I'm paraphrasing, but he'll be like, hey Jeff, have you heard about Strand type games? And Jeff's like, no, Kojima, can you tell me more about this? Kojima's like, Strand type games are all the rage right now, and that's just an example of the kind of fun and silliness you can have with the game. You can make it whatever the hell you want. Make whoever
So
you
so
want.
they've got like predefined sort of sentences they're going to say to each other, and you're just filling in like a
You're
blank of
filling in
what
the
they are
blanks,
talking
but you
about.
can also
Interesting.
obviously,
Okay.
when you make the character, there are a few bars you can slide back and forth in terms of like what personality you'll give them. So you can
Okay.
like,
Okay.
I don't know what Jeff Keighley is like and what Kojima's like as a person in your life, but my perception of them, like, yeah, Kojima's quite this and Jeff Keighley's quite this, and to see how they interact with each other, it's just this fun experiment of like, if they were on an island together, what would they talk about? You know? Then I've added a few other characters. Like I added my good pal Gabe Newell, and of course Reggie from Nintendo. They're all on my
Of
island.
course.
All these top tier gaming
All the stars are
personalities
here.
hanging out. Gabe Newell's talking to Reggie about the Steam machine, and their friendship has developed enough now that I've been able to give them like pet names for each other. Reggie calls Gabe his Nintendo Sexy 4, because
Okay.
it's just what I'm getting. It's like it's a complete sandbox. You can do whatever the
Okay.
hell you want to do, and the whole point is just to have these people live on this island, live this life, get them to like build friendships or relationships with each other, and the humor just comes from the prompts you give them and the things you can make them do and say to each other. That's why you're seeing
Okay.
these hilarious viral clips, all these moments, because it's just like things can be so funny and random and unexpected. Like if you're watching the footage, there can be these random cutscenes that happen. Um, yeah, it's a wild game,
It
and
almost looks like The Sims.
if you want a description, it's kind of look. It's not as deep as The Sims. So in terms of like building a house, you can't. Well, I'm just loving the footage he's watching right now.
Sorry, it's just like this. It's this moment where these two characters are married and then they have a child, and they're like, he looks so cute. Do you think it's a boy or a girl? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, of course, the player has to choose if it's a boy or a girl.
and then you choose, and the baby just rotates and has this, like, it looks like an adult that is just tiny.
Yeah, it
Oh
looks
god,
like the dad.
this looks
Whatever.
funny. This looks
It
good.
is. It's super silly. It's meant to be wacky. And in terms of customization, like you can have a lot of people living on the island, whatever. So I think with the island itself, you can customize, to a certain degree. But don't go in thinking, okay, cool, I'm gonna build like my boy Hideo Kojima. I'm gonna build his house, and I'm gonna, put a table and a bed there. It's you end up choosing like different aesthetics for the homes. The customization, like the more customization part of the game, comes from how you lay out your island, that sort of thing. What are you building on the island? The actual like pathways and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a silly time, and I want to play it more. I've only played a couple hours, but I've had some laughs. I've got some. Interestingly, Nintendo don't let you share clips from the game straight from the Switch.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's a big sticking point for a lot of like the
Which
communities.
I,
Like there should be better sharing tools.
I get it. Nintendo like, oh, people are gonna, they're gonna not use the game the way we intended. Nintendo people will figure out a way to show the stuff. So I don't know. It feels it's such a Nintendo move to like restrict that. It's like we live in 2026. Like, what do you expect? But yeah, it's a wacky game, and I am going to put a lot more time into it. I just haven't had the chance to put as much time as I would have liked to. It's
I
good for
did
some
like that
life.
little another moment on the gameplay is someone drew like a 2D cat, and then it's just like an actual thing that follows you around the world. That's real funny.
Yeah.
This looks funny. I see why people have been using it to like share very humorous and comedic clips.
Because there are ways to prompt it, and it is like my first top of mind was I just want to have like the foundation of my island was like if Jeff Keighley and Kojima were on an island, because it's a meme at this point where like Jeff Keighley like idolizes Kojima, and I'm like, well, what would they be like on an island? And then it's like, well, who else would live on this island? So I'm going to keep adding probably gaming personalities. Like you best believe Todd Howard's going to be there saying some bullshit about Skyrim or whatever, and I'm going to add Phil Spencer will be there. All these dudes are going to be there just speaking shit, and I'm going to keep growing my island in that way. But you can make it whatever the hell you want. You could have you and Shani and Asher, and then you could add like your family members and have it play out that way if you wanted to. You could have people from your favorite TV show. It's yeah.
I'd grab different like video game characters. Like what would Gordon Freeman be
100%.
like with I don't know, Isaac from Dead Space, or like Marcus from Gears of War, something stupid like that,
Yeah, and that's where the fun comes in. You'll go, cool, like Gordon Freeman, like doesn't talk a lot, so you'd like build his personality like that, and the game will go, okay, cool, so this is what he's like. Now have him go talk to that person and see what nonsense they talk, whatever. That's where the humor comes in.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool. I can see why people dig it. I used to, especially when I saw the first footage, I thought this was a like you got those mini games on like 3DS, like you got Street Pass, but then you also had Puzzle Quest or something like that. Anyway, it used all your Mii characters. I thought it was like an expansion of one of those ideas, like a smallish sort of mini game that got put into a big thing, but apparently it's like some big series. So I had no context for that.
Yeah,
but it looks neat.